Me wanting big boobs so I can't see my dick when I look down. Modern problems require modern solutions. I'm not really sure this counts as a modern problem, because that kind of makes it seem like trans people are actually something new, which they're not. So it might be a modern solution, because now you can actually fairly easily, at least from a medical standpoint, get bigger boobs, whether through estrogen or by getting a boob job. So it's a modern solution to a not so modern problem, actually. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some trans memes. On a sad note, apparently the subreddit of trans is getting shut down. I don't know what's going on, but half of the memes I found were about how sad everyone is that the subreddit is gone now. Or at least getting shut down, so I don't think you can post there anymore. But I still found a lot of good memes, so we're gonna do them today. But you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll look at some more memes. Are you hydrated? Good, let's go. A gay camp that parents send their children to in order to be corrected, that is actually a disguised safe haven for LGBT youth. Please let this be a thing. Kids being asked their preferred name and pronouns as they get off the bus. Kids being housed with the gender they identify as. Kids swapping clothes so their outside can reflect their inside. Older kids getting gay, lesbian, trans-inclusive sex education. Cis girls teaching trans girls to do their makeup. Trans boys learning to bind safely. Counselors sharing positive coming out stories around the campfire. Kids learning to include their pronouns when introducing themselves. Kids coming to camp scared and alone and leaving with the best support network anybody could possibly hope for. This needs to exist. Please. Literally just this. It would be so amazing if this was actually a thing. I mean, it'd be amazing if homophobia or transphobia wasn't a thing in the first place and this didn't need to be a thing, but since those things are real, it seems fair that this should exist as well. Because then you can like always have that support network, and then even if at some point you do have to go home to your parents, you know, like you feel way more secure in your identity and you feel loved, even if your parents who are technically supposed to don't, you know? What transphobes think HRT does to trans women? Ah yes. What HRT actually does to trans women? Kind of. Yeah, I mean obviously HRT works differently for everyone, but still, yeah, the whole transphobe idea of I can always tell when someone is trans, like even if they're on hormones and everything, is ridiculous. I mean, we've seen them fuck up so many times with their, oh, I can always tell, and then they just constantly not see when someone is trans and then like tell a lot of cis people that they are trans apparently because you're tall and you have broad shoulders as a woman, you can't be cis, which is also ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, listen, transphobes do have some weird ideas. You know, I used to be the guy who got straight A's. Now I'm neither straight nor a guy. We call this progress. I guess there's nothing wrong with being a straight A student. There's nothing really wrong with being a guy either, but still, like if that's not who you are, there is kind of something wrong with that, and that is gender dysphoria. But still, well, not being straight is kind of a cool option, I guess. Okay, I don't know why, but I found this art incredibly adorable because this little lion cub looks so proud and happy with a trans flag that I'm honestly just here for it. Notice guys flirting with me more frequently and assertively right when I start noticing my genital odor becoming feminine. I'm sorry, what now? I mean, I know your general odor changes. Like literally, you generally start to smell different, your sweat starts to smell different. So yeah, technically, like your pee and your genitals will also smell differently. I'm not even sure I noticed it. Like I noticed my pee starting to smell differently like very early on, like within a few days. It was kind of weird. Now I don't notice it anymore, but it was kind of weird. But it's kind of creepy if you do actually notice that your odor changes a lot and then you smell differently. I mean, attraction does kind of work off of pheromones, which are kind of related with your hormones, right? So it kind of makes sense that if you generally start to smell more like a cis woman would, that straight men would be more attracted to you and maybe flirt with you more. It kind of makes sense, actually. More art, I guess, because why not? Trans rights are important. And also, which some people seem to forget, is that non-binary people are actually part of the trans community, because being transgender means you don't identify with the gender you were assigned at birth. So, you know, whether or not you actually like comfortably use the term for yourself or not, technically non-binary people would be trans. So I'm really glad they included them, and this is just cute, and I'm here for it. To be a man, you don't need to bind your chest, wear masculine clothes, have short hair, or have a penis. But you must be swift as a cursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. See? There you go. I guess I am not a man. Because I feel like most men will probably not live up to this description. So, fair, but might be at least funnier as an approach to measure what a man is than being like, you know, you have to have a beard or you have to like be super strong or whatever. Because listen, men come in all shapes and sizes and personalities and whatever, so both is ridiculous, but since the bottom one is a joke, it's definitely funnier than the top of trying to control what people in general do with their bodies or lives, especially trans people, you know? My brain, whenever I see the colors pink and blue next to each other, not just the gender binary of people being like, okay, pink is for girls and blue is for boys. We just throw some white in there every time we see it. And we just immediately see the white in there. So, honestly, I think this is all of us if we see like clothes or if we see items in general with like our pride colors in them. It doesn't matter if they're in the right order. It doesn't matter if it's like necessary. Like even if you see something just pink and blue without the white, you're still gonna think trans color because that's what you're used to. That's kind of this unicorn. It's not like the pink isn't like light enough for the trans flag, but I literally still got it because of that. And because unicorns are cute, but still, that's literally why I have this unicorn. Also, does this count as art? Probably does. Protect trans kids. I wish I really need, like, I really wish I wouldn't need to say it. I really wish I didn't need to say it. But apparently I still do. And apparently we still have to fight for our rights and for the right to like live as ourselves and not be persecuted and be allowed to make our own choices. And the thing about trans kids that people like to get so wrong is that apparently we're trying to trans all the kids, which is rubbish. And secondly, that we're just like cutting up these kids or like forcibly injecting them with hormones and like mutating them, which is literally not what happens when kids transition, because all that happens is you dress them differently with a different name and different pronouns. You might like allow them to wear their hair differently or wear different clothes if they want to. So why wouldn't you allow your kids to do that, you know? My parents at age 30. It's a boy. I'm sure he'll grow up to be such a handsome man. Me at age 20. No, but I'm pretty, I guess. Like, that didn't work out as planned. But listen, a lot of things don't work out exactly the way you picture them. Like, actually, most things probably don't ever go exactly how you pictured it or exactly how you planned. Because life's too messy for that, generally. But I get that it comes as a bit of a shock to parents if suddenly the picture they had of their child's lives turns out to be like so different. Because for a lot of people, gender matters a lot, and then they think it's super dramatic if suddenly someone's a different gender. I don't really get it, but I know people get very, very confused by it. But still, you know, I think as a parent, logically, you would want a child that is happy and doing well versus one that's super depressed or worse, just dead. You know, but apparently a lot of parents don't agree with that. And also we have the picture of the trans woman who did this comic. Honestly, she's just pretty. And yeah, she's probably not what your parents pictured, you know, when you were born. Like, that's not what they pictured you would look like eventually. But listen, they better be supportive. They better be supportive. Friend, why do you like the colors pink, blue, and white so much? Me, I'm trans. These colors are part of my religion. Again, it's just a queer people thing. You wouldn't get it. Like, I get that as a hetero person, you're not excited about the hetero flag because it's just black and white. I personally like black and white. But still, I don't get excited about it. Even though I mostly wear black. But still, like, getting excited about your flag colors is just a queer people thing. Okay? I mean, would I jokingly refer to it as my religion? Maybe. Maybe. Absolutely. Because I'm not religious. And I probably would also think it's funny in the moment. I'm trans. Oh, really? Name 15 trans girls. Emma? Yep, that's something I set the bar too low. Yeah, there are just names that are very cliche, aren't there? I didn't know Emma was one of them. Oh well, what are like the current names? Because I really don't know. Because a while ago, for trans guys, like Alex, Jamie, I think as well, was very like common. What are like the current most common names for trans people? Because I don't know. My son comes out as trans. I started looking up how to support him. I find trans Twitter. I make many friends and listen to many trans peeps. I learn about non-binary identities. Can one be non-binary and yet not want to transition? This is kind of sweet. This is like a parent's timeline, I guess, when their child came out as trans to them. Listen, the start is already kind of cool. Like, you're like, okay, I don't get it, but I want to. So I'll look up how I can support him, like what I can do, like maybe like read some experiences, what he's going through so I can understand him better. Like, it started out so wholesome already, but then you kind of may have realized some more things about yourself as well, and you realize, wait a second, I might not be as cisgender as I thought I was, which you probably would have like never really questioned. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're never really like presented with it as an option, like if the only option you get is, okay, you're either a man or a woman, even if that doesn't necessarily feel right or feel like that's really you, if everyone all your life keeps telling you that those two are the only options, of course you're probably not gonna question it, because like, well, then it must be right that I'm a man or a woman. That's why representation is so important, and that's why educating people is so important, because so many people are probably not as cis as they think they are. But again, if those two are your only options, which is bold, that's not the only option really, but like if that's presented as the only two options, then of course you're gonna be like, well, I guess I have to stay on one side of this. Well, newsflash, you really don't. You really don't. Like, listen, if you're literally just cisgender, or if you're like binary trans and just like, well, I'm definitely a man or a woman, that's cool. Great. I'm glad you feel comfortable with your gender, you know? But listen, if that doesn't feel right, If that doesn't feel like it's fully you, that's okay too. Me and a friend waiting for all the genders to show up so we can use the all-gender restroom. We've only got 2 so far. This joke is kind of bad, but it's also funny. It kind of hurts. It's bordering on pun level of pain, but it's still funny, you know? But yeah, I get the terminology of all gender bathroom can kind of be confusing that way. Are you winning, son? This is what transphobes sound like when they keep insisting that people are what they're born as. You know, this is how ridiculous they look. Yeah, I happen to have a large penis. However, I don't have it with me. A lot of trans guys ever. Because packing is, like, some trans guys really pack a lot. Some people don't want to. And some people just prefer to leave their dick at home, you know? Like, listen. If you want a dick, go get a dick, but you don't necessarily have to have it on your body all the time, you know? I think I might be a trans girl. I sleep. Wait, if I'm a girl, that means I have cooties. How old are you? How old are you? But yeah, you do have the girl cooties now. I'm sorry, you gotta deal with the girl cooties now. Okay, that's it. I'm getting myself hormone replacement therapy, and I don't care whose hormones they are. Should I be scared? Should I be scared? Because I mean, you could just break in and steal like a tea bottle if you want testosterone. But please don't, I need it. Okay, if this is an adult male Martian, and this is an adult female Martian, but Marvin literally has the same physique as his prepubescent niece, then this means this galactic goofball is on puberty blockers. I have questions. A, what show is this from? It looks very cute. Secondly, you're aware that prepubescent children all kind of have the same body type, right? Like that's just how kids work. I'm not sure if your argument holds up, but yeah, if he's supposed to be old enough to go through puberty, he's definitely on puberty blockers, I guess. Oh, please, Mr. Mad Scientist, don't turn me into a girl. Thanks for making me hot, you freaking gullible idiot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta show this to some friends of mine. I guess threatening someone can go very wrong. In this case, it went very wrong because they didn't see through the obvious. Oh no, please don't turn me into a girl. That'd be such a shame if you did that. Which is very easy to see through, but someone didn't. Okay, most men probably don't get upset about using men's shampoo. Fuck off. We're just saying. They're just telling you the truth. Because yeah, most men will not like get upset at it. Like, they might not enjoy it because a certain shampoo might have a certain smell that they don't like, you know, or because it's like gonna irritate their skin or something. But generally, men don't get upset about having to use men's shampoo or stuff like that, you know? PSA, this is a femboy, this is a trans girl. This is a trap. The only thing they have in common is the ability to break your fucking shins. So don't try them. Really don't try them, because they might. If you're gonna upset them, they might. And honestly, I do think that's fair. Okay, start out with a pair of pink striped thigh-high socks and work your way up from there. I think I'm in the wrong class. Which classroom is computer science? This is computer science? This is like one of the cliches, right? That trans women, or like a lot of trans women, are in computer science. Or femboys, I'm not really sure. Maybe both. Maybe if you're into computer science, you have one of two options. I don't like giving people only two options, but it seems with computer science those are your only two options. If you can't get a girlfriend, become the girlfriend. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Why not both though? Like, why not become the girlfriend and then get a girlfriend? Because that's twice the amount of girlfriend. Therefore, it's better. It's a little bit like cheese. Like, the more cheese, the better. So if you have more girlfriend, that's better. Right? What I expected. Me, as the older sister, teaching my younger sister about girl things. What I got. Me, the older sibling, teaching my younger brother about trans things. Well, yeah. Listen, like I said, life doesn't always turn out the way you want it to. Even, like, maybe specific things don't turn out the way you want them to. But listen, what you expected was kind of wholesome and sweet. And you had good intentions. What you got is still very wholesome and sweet. So, I think that's what counts, really. You know, like, it's fine. Like, you didn't get anything worse. It's just slightly different than what you thought it would be. Okay, getting misgendered because I'm trans? No, that sucks. Getting misgendered because I'm emo? Yes. Does that actually make it better? Like, does it make the misgendering hurt less if you know it's just because you're emo? Like, seriously, does it? Like, I'm so confused. I got misgendered at work today. Like, I really don't care anymore. But someone on the telephone thought I was a woman. Like, usually it happens in person because I'm not that tall. But on the telephone, it usually doesn't. But my telephone voice is still apparently very insane. Like, I used to not get misgendered in person that much anymore, but I got misgendered constantly over the phone for a while because I could not turn off my telephone voice. Like, I have this intense customer service voice. It's crazy. I literally don't use it when filming. And I can't. Can I do it on command? I don't know if I can do it in English, but you know, why are we misgendering people just because they're emo? Like, why are we? I mean, misgendering people on purpose in general. Shitty ass move. Don't do it. Don't be an asshole. But why are people so confused about gender? You know, gamer girl. Hey, you call yourself a gamer? Yeah. Oh yeah, a girl who plays video games? Can you make me a gamer girl too? Okay, sometime later. Wanna go to my apartment and play some Smash? I'd love to. This is sweet. I could, like, when you start reading this comment, you think you know where it's going. Because it's the whole, oh, you like this gaming series? Or you like this movie series? Like, name 500 planets in Star Wars, you know, to prove you really are a Star Wars fan. Listen, I can't remember names or anything for shit. So I would definitely suck at this. But that's where you think it's going. Of like, oh yeah, name every plot point in this game ever. Just no, don't be weird. Let people enjoy things, you know, without having everything about it memorized. Just let people enjoy things. But still, this is cute. This is adorable. Like, asking people for support who know a lot about the thing you need support with makes sense. We also have a very cute follow-up comic, really. I don't think playing Super Smash Bros. Is the only thing they're doing, actually, but, you know, it's cute. Mario supports trans rights. And this comic is just adorable. Skater girls. This is all your fault. You and your transsexual biological advantages. Hey, stupid. We both lost to a 9-year-old. Yeah, this is like the thing. If trans people would really dominate sports as much, they would constantly be winning shit. They don't. Like, some do, yeah, sure, because some people are just, like, very, very gifted and very dedicated to their sport and put a lot of training in. And that's why they're good at it. But in that case, it really doesn't matter if they're cis or trans, you know? But listen, I'm not mad at it. The little kid looks very happy that she won. Tough love. This is how I saved my son from the trans cult. I cut his hair, I threw away his stuff, and I kept him away from his friends. How come nobody ever visits? surprising, isn't it, that if you try to be a bossy little bitch and dictate everyone's life, that no one's gonna like you anymore. That's weird. I figured that's how you get people to like you, is just to tell them that who they are is wrong and that your way of seeing things is the only correct thing. That's how you get people to like you. Obviously. Obviously. Well, anyways, don't be a dickhead to your kids or anyone else. And don't be so ignorant, you know? Transphobic neck. As a real homosexual, I only date other men, not cross-dressing females. Yeah, we don't care. Holy shit, oh fuck. What does it even say? Oh, it says, as a real homosexual, I only date men, not cross-dressing females. Well, listen. You get to date or not date whoever you want, really. Like, if you don't want to date trans people, whatever. Chances are you're so transphobic that trans people don't even want to date you. You know? It's fine. And if you only want to date cis women because you want biological kids with your partner, okay, fine. Like, that's just like kind of a personal choice. Saying you're never attracted to trans people is ridiculous because, again, you can't tell. You really just can't. Whatever. But, you know, yeah, just looking at transphobes when they say stuff like this, and I'm like, yeah, we don't care. I don't care that you don't want to date me, you know? It just upsets them so much. It's so ridiculous. Like, the day I see someone's neck seriously unhinged like this, I am probably also going to be screaming. But still, just seeing their head just like swell 3 sizes because they're so mad at you, and you just like see their neck veins bulging out because they're so upset that you don't care. It will always be funny, you know? So anyways, that was all the memes for today. I hope you enjoyed kind of just very slightly poking fun of the transphobes with me. I say slightly, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed the memes. I hope you're hydrated, and I'll be back in 3 days with my next video.